that tall on your feet. Later make up the difference. Toss and turn in your sleep. Family, I know you miss them. Stripped and robbed from the streets. Starting to get the picture. Fight for your life to feed. Watch how you turn out winning. This shit is easy to me. I pray to God.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Godly Potential YouTube channel. In this video, wanted to go in on the science of altars and pretty much my definition, my reasoning, my explanation of the science of altars. Now, this information I'm talking about, I haven't heard it anywhere else. I haven't looked for the information anywhere else. This is basically what's been channeled to me as I just thought about the topic of the science of altars. But before I get into that, as you can see, I'm out in nature, so you may hear some sounds, some nature sounds. You might hear some people riding around on bikes or vehicles. There is some water in front of me, so you may hear something. Hopefully there's no crocodiles or none over here, but if they do, or if they are, and you see me take off running, then that's the reason why. But the science of ancestor altars, right? So, what is the science of ancestor altars, right? What is actually going on when you set up and have an ancestor altar? You venerate your ancestors through altars. You feed them through altar. What's actually going on? So, we gotta backtrack, right? So before you incarnated down here, you chose a family to incarnate into, right? And once you incarnated into that family line, that astral form was inserted into that genetic lineage. Okay? So, what I mean by that is your astral form, it's your spirit, right? You have a soul, you have a spirit. The soul is that part of you that is still connected to the whole, and this is a part of you that experienced different lifetimes. Your spirit doesn't do that, right? Your spirit is individual to each lifetime. Your soul is what can experience those other lifetimes. Let's say in your past life you was, I don't know, a native Indian, right? The one before that you were, I don't know, in Mesopotamia, something like that, right? Logically, there's no way that y'all can have the same ancestors throughout each lifetime. But on the astral, on the spiritual level, on the spirit level, but we're going to say astral level, that form exists. So when you came down here, when you incarnated down here, and you inhabited or you took on that body that your mother and your father pretty much created through their genetic makeup, you were inserted into that astral lineage or that genetic lineage, linking you to your ancestors, if that makes sense. Okay? So that astral form is linked to your ancestors. We got that. So with that link to your ancestors, know that your physical body also links you to them. Because like I stated previously, your physical body is made up from genes and genetics from your mother and your father. They're combined and created your pretty much genetic makeup. Your looks and stuff, certain inclinations, certain abilities you have came from your genetic lineage, your genetic makeup, which came from your parents, and they got theirs from their parents, and they got theirs from their parents, and it goes all the way down through the lineages. So with that said, your ancestors are within your DNA, okay? And you can unlock these certain things, these certain attributes of your ancestors through repairing of your DNA or the awakening of these DNA. They say we got like some, I don't even know the percentage, but we got a lot of junk DNA, they say, or alien DNA. A lot of it is just unlocked DNA, DNA. If you ever heard of this saying or this term, idiot savant. Idiot savant is basically let's say someone was born with a retardation, and that's the actual term for it, right? Let's say they were born with this certain disability. Let's say they were born blind, but they can sit down and play out a perfect symphony on a piano, first try, right? Or whatever, right? They call it idiot savant. Why is that? How is that possible? Well, some would say that's because within the lineage, within the DNA, within the genes, one of their ancestors had that ability. Some also say you had that ability from past lifetimes, okay? Who knows about that part? But let's just say you got it from your ancestors, okay? And so the science of the altar is ultimately helping you, right? Because you're setting up this altar, you're giving offerings to your ancestors who reside within you via the way of the genetic makeup. So liberating and empowering them is empowering your genes, because let's say you make an altar and you give these offerings and it goes to your ancestors, right? And they become empowered where they reside in you. So ultimately you're empowering yourself. There's no different from you taking a mineral or something, something that helps your intestines, right? You're helping your intestines because it's ultimately going to help you, right? Or any type of internal organ or organism, whatever, okay? So the science of the altar is ultimately you're helping yourself out. Giving them offerings is ultimately helping you, speeding up your evolution. But not only that, you're also helping out your future generation, your descendants in the future, because you're healing yourself, you're healing the past, you're healing the present, so the future can have something that's healed to work with, okay? So that's one aspect of it. Now, I want to go into why you have certain elements on the altar, right? There's 5 elements: earth, air, fire, water, and spirit. Looking around, everything in this physical realm contains those elements, right? These trees, these vines, this grass, the water behind me, it all has earth element because it's on earth. Everything that's native or that's natural to earth has the earth element, okay? Air, right? Everything needs air to pretty much survive. Somebody say water, but I don't know the science of that, but if you look into it, I'm pretty sure air plays a role into development of water. So, and you look at fire, right? Fire is pretty much within the majority of things as well, the fire element, right? You got the sun beaming down on earth, right? And the sun pretty much nourishes everything. You got wildfires and stuff, natural wildfires that happen, right? That is used to pretty much replenish the trees, right? In fact, let me look it up real quick. So the purpose of forest fires. Forest fires help in the natural cycle of wood's growth and replenishment. Okay, you got the fire element, the air element. I already talked about that. The water element. Everything on earth needs water. All right, and so you got all these elements, and every living thing, organism, and everything has that element of spirit. And they also say ether, right? So when you set up this altar, you got those 4 elements: earth, whatever thing you want to have on there; air, whatever thing you want to have on there; water, it's water; and you got fire, normally a candle. You have those 4 elements. So where's the 5th element? The 5th element is you calling up that ancestor or that deity or that spirit, whatever it is. So basically having those 4 elements makes the process of that spirit coming down easier, if that makes sense. Okay, so when you got these 4 elements set up and you call up on that spirit, it's easier for the spirit to manifest, or pretty much just use that as an open channel, right? Because these spirits, our ancestors, They are without form, which means they are without the earth element, the air element, the fire element, and the water element, okay? On the physical level. But they still possess only that spirit element, or that etheric, or what is the other term they use? Or that ether element, okay? They still have that, but they are just without that. So by setting up this altar with those elements on there, you're pretty much giving them a vessel to come down, okay? And that is basically the science of the altars from my innate wisdom, okay? When I think about it, that's what come up to me. Like I said, I didn't research any of this stuff. I mean, that's my truth about it. That's the science of altars. And so to pretty much just bring it full circle, ultimately what you're doing, you're setting up this altar to bringing down, calling down the spirit, your ancestors, so you can liberate yourself ultimately. You're repairing the past, which is repairing yourself now, which is going to repair the future, or set the future up for better outcomes. Or rather, instead of repairing the past, you're repairing yourself, which goes both ways. It trickles out, right? So having this altar set up, you're ultimately uplifting, liberating yourself, which is ultimately uplifting and liberating the past, which is going to set the future up for better things to come, right? Set up an altar so your descendants can be in a better position, okay? It's no different from you in this previous lifetime, you trying to amass, or you are going about amassing generational wealth, so your future generations can live off that wealth. Do that in the spirit form. Do that on the spiritual realm. Set up an ancestor altar, because you're creating that generational spiritual wealth, okay? You're uplifting yourself now. It's going to uplift them in the past. It's going to uplift them in the future. The difference between physical generational wealth is you can't help the past out, because they're already gone. They don't benefit from physical money, right? Your descendants will, or can, but on the spiritual level, there's no time involved. So by you creating that altar and you pretty much creating that generational spiritual wealth, it's going off both ends, right? The past and the future. But it's really no past or future in those realms. So it's just going through all the lineage, right? It's just trickling out. It's like a drop of water. All the ripples is just going out. So that is the science of an altar. That is the reason why you should create an altar, right? Is there anything else I want to say? No, there's nothing else I want to say. If you got any questions about altars, if you want to find out where you can get an altar that's already set up, check out the link in the bio. Go to my Etsy shop. Purchase one from your boy, right? The description of it there. I go through step by step. After you buy it, I send you a pretty much a typed out letter, basically stating all the things you need to do. Some certain prayers in there, cleansing rituals. Yeah, just check out the links in the description. But if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you feel like this video can help others, be sure to share this video. Comment, subscribe for more. If you got any questions, leave them in the comments. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.
Tall on your feet, later make up the difference. Toss and turn in your sleep. Family, I know you miss it. Tripped and rock from the streets. Starting to get the picture. Fight for your life to feed. Watch how you turn out winning. This shit just easy me. I pray to God.